exploded diaper also did the biting.
Right. He bit the younger brother so that I would come and change his diaper because apparently shouting for help during a game doesn't actually get us, whereas the youngest brother screaming because he's in pain will get a parent to show up.
That is, wow.
There's just so many levels to
Where
that.
did he bite his elder brother?
Upper
Younger
arm.
brother.
Okay. Oh, younger brother. Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's a full on bully situation here.
Yeah, but like he was hugging and asking forgiveness, so like
I just
not
need
quite full on bully.
Well, Sophie's
I mean-
children have figured out how to work the system.
The ends justify the means.
Is this surprising
right.
to anyone at all? No? Okay.
I
So
missed
when
what
I
you
was-
said.
When I was in college, one of my professors had younger children, and he would tell stories about them sometime. But my favorite story was the one that the elder boy had an eye infection, so they had to put eye drops in, or maybe it might have been ear drops. I don't know. They had to put drops in one of his orifices, and he didn't like it, and so he would lie down and then cry after, because I think maybe it might have been his ear, and he had to like keep his head to the one side. Anyway, so he would lie down and cry, and so he's on the carpet weeping, and they see the younger brother crawl up, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to comfort him. This is just so sweet." Nope, he starts punching him, and they're like, they figured the logic was, that normally elder brother, can overpower younger
He's
brother,
down.
but now he's down, so this is my opportunity.
All right. Let's begin before my children decide to manipulate the system in some other way.
Something other than cannibalism? You think this isn't rock bottom?
I know it's not.
Yeah, I can envision worse situations. So yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Darkening of Mirkwood, session 166. I'm glad we're all so comfortable with each other that I can freely tell you guys how bad a parent I am and not feel any of the guilt or shame that society would normally heap upon me.
I like how you did that before the recording started.
Oh no, the recording's been going for a while. So
Oh crap! You recorded the beginning too.
When last we left our heroes, in the summer of 2975, many of the companions, including Sancho the Hobbit, Isolde of Mountain Hall, and Solmander of Lake Town, had traveled to the Fireheart mine to celebrate its opening for trade, as King Mar's population of dwarven colonists was now large enough to open official trading relations with the other powers of Wilderland, although the precise way into the underground city remains a secret for now. Angi Trolltosser, the marshal of the Fireheart mines, took his visitors on a tour of the lower diggings along with his, I'm going to say girlfriend? Idun. I don't know why I wrote Isolde here. That was going to get confusing. Along with his girlfriend Idun, who, along with Angi and King Mar, had been one of the original party who rediscovered the mine some 10 years prior. Also his young protege, Onar the dwarf. Descending into the lower diggings, the companions found the body of a young dwarven girl by the name of Dis, who had been killed, mutilated, but then hastily hidden beneath the lift. Searching the surrounding area, which consisted of 3 partially collapsed mine shafts opening up onto the wall of the Fireheart chasm, they found a second body, this time deliberately dismembered and partially chewed, with a signet ring belonging to an adolescent dwarven lad by the name of Dunri. Idun remembered that that's gonna just happen a bunch tonight. I'm sorry in advance. Idun remembered that both Dunri and Dis were part of a group of young dwarven explorers who often went on illicit expeditions to the lower diggings, which were largely collapsed portions of the mine still being recovered by the dwarves, often led by none other than Little B himself, the Fireheart mine's own reclusive halfling. Now the company intends to return to the middle diggings, the most inhabited part of the mine, in order to inform King Mar of these dastardly murders, as well as locate the other young dwarven folk who might have gone on one of these expeditions and so be in danger. And Marshal Angi has a conversation he needs to have with his friend and erstwhile companion in arms, Little B, who is well known to be the only person in the Fireheart who has ever successfully made a foray into the Fireheart chasm itself. So that's where
What?
we're going to pick up tonight.
All right.
So we're headed upstairs, and who are we talking to first? Did we decide, or did we leave it that we hadn't decided? Are we
I think
talking to
decided we need
families
to-
first, or
we need
talking
to find out
King?
if there's anybody else down there, which I'm not sure who that would mean we talk to, but I think that was our priority.
Haven't we pretty much looked over everything there is to be down here in this particular section?
Right. Yeah, we've already, I think, established that there's nobody actually down in the tunnels right now, because at least those tunnels. We could talk to Little B, like find him and see where he is, or if he's missing, we could figure out who else might have been down there of the young dwarves. And King Mar needs to be told that it's going on.
So did we decide not to explore the caves further?
We got to the end of all the tunnels that were on that particular level.
Oh,
There's other levels and other places that we could look, but we can't explore in that particular place any further. And the body needs to be returned,
right.
or bodies.
Bodies, plural.
Yeah,
They're kind of stacking up.
like they need to be properly taken care of. So I think we're going up for now to take care of things on the upper levels, and then we can come back down once we know a little more what we're looking for. So do we, I'm thinking Little B might be good to get our hands on as soon as possible, just in case. And
I
also
was just
King Mar.
thinking we need to obscure the fact that we have discovered a collection of bodies. I feel like
I mean, isn't that the whole reason we'd be going back up?
Obscure? What do you mean?
As in, I don't want to trundle a wagon with 3 mangled dwarven corpses through the city. This or 2, okay. Some of them in halves through the city. This being the first murders we've ever had in the Fireheart. And yeah.
Well, I did wrap them in my cloak, but we can't leave them downstairs.
I mean,
Right, obviously.
If-
That's what I meant. Yeah, we just need to obscure it in some fashion. You know, if this was in fact Little B, I don't want him seeing that happened. If this was something else, I mean, maybe he already did it, but we just don't want him to know we're onto him.
okay,
Yeah,
so we're going
well-
to go up and ask who else might have been in the party that was down there without letting them know that the reason that we're asking is because we found a bunch of dead bodies. Wouldn't it be easier just to look around for some more dead bodies? Maybe find a goblin or two, stabby stab stab, diggy hole.
Well, but if Little B is responsible for this, then we've got to, like, finding him, we can interrogate him and learn more. If he's not responsible, then he's probably in danger or putting more people in danger.
Anjo's never done interrogation. I've got a feeling I'd be pretty good at it.
Well, you can lead that one up. But, and also Mar does need to know, like, you
Mhm.
can't just have bodies.
That's kind of what my thought was. We'd actually take the remains to Mar,
Yeah,
and she can hang on to them.
yeah. She can probably do a lot of the investigation stuff. Like, she could be the one who checks in on the families, because I suspect that's going to take a while. If
And
we can
well-
talk to Mar and then to Little B, then we can go back down and start finding things, if maybe.
So do you think Mar is going to keep it secret from Little B?
Well, she's in charge of the whole thing, so, like, I don't know if she wants to keep it a secret or not, but
So we trust Mar.
I mean,
we have significant reason not to trust Little B, whereas Mar has yet to provide.
Right, you're right. People in positions of power are never devious.
Jonathan, check it out.
What the heck?
I know. I just got it yesterday or the day before yesterday. Very excited about it. Anyway, sorry.
That's-
Continue.
What kind of gun is it?
It's a 308.
We want to go deer hunting now?
Well, it's for.
Oh man,
deer.
now I have to get a rifle. Oh well, let's do it.
Yep.
November?
It's for deer and pig hunting, but also I'm gonna like trick it out into like a long range match shooting rifle. I'm gonna do like 1,000-yard shooting. Anyway, sorry. Continue, please. I'm sorry.
I've always wanted to shoot a Coke can off a skyscraper from a mile away, but you know,
Same.
life goals.
Same girl.
So how about we go up, Ongi and the rest of us will block the bodies from view with our bodies so that anybody who's standing at the top of the lift can't see it. Ongi, you go out and be bossy Ongi. I'm in charge because I'm Ongi and I'm here and I'm in charge and nobody messes with Ongi. And
Is that how that works?
and yeah, totally. And clear the way for us, and then we will get the bodies secretly like wrapped in cloaks and whatever else we find to conceal the fact that we're carrying mangled corpses.
So my cloak's a little too small to be used to wrap corpses.
I've already decided, like I've already given up my cloak, and maybe
All your cloaks are essentially the same size because hobbits are roughly the same height as dwarves. They're just
No, it's too
smaller.
small.
And maybe Ongi, when he's being bossy, can say, "Hey, I need your cloak too," and
No.
take somebody's cloak. Not
No,
yours. I
this
mean, a
is my
random
cloak.
NPC.
You're wanting me to go upstairs and start commandeering cloaks.
And also tell people to turn around while the lift comes up. Like, give me your cloak, not turn around. Face the
Okay,
other
but
direction and count to
don't take the
1,000
cloaks.
backwards.
But Ongi's the one who could be bossy and make people go away and send a message to Mar that we're coming.
Could I just go get a?
We're going up the lift.
The lift at the top, like keep it closed and say, you know, send people away while he gets
Yeah.
a covered cart.
Just put do not disturb sign
That's
on
fine. I would prefer a cart. A cart would be way preferable to carrying this.
All right.
it. Do they
I
have
mean,
carts?
These individuals.
They gotta have at least wheelbarrows.
If they're mining, they've got to have something to move
Right.
the
Exactly.
Ooh, mine
stuff.
carts. Those are fun.
So that's what the actual lift is for. It's for carrying up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Suddenly-
really disappointed if there's not a Temple of Doom style
Right,
like
I'm
minecart
suddenly-
action scene at the end of
Jonathan's
this
over there
dungeon.
imagining the roller coaster of
I
doom,
am.
but
I am.
deeply macabre and filled with mangled dwarves.
Like a hand sticking up over here.
I'm
a
basically
bit and a
imagining
foot over there.
the mine cart underneath Gringotts.
Yeah, that works too.
I guess
Above
I
the
was
dragon.
picturing like Looney Tunes.
Right.
Same thing.
Those are all
Yeah, okay.
same, it's a genre.
Yeah.
The mine cart genre.
Or
All right,
or from
I'm on board
from
with this plan. We
the
take the mine cart
hood.
up the lift.
What was that? I don't know. Yes.
Cape?
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That maybe.
I don't
The
remember
Little
a
Red
mine
Riding
cart and
Hood
cape.
one. The
Oh yeah, you're thinking. Yeah, I know
Oh.
what you're talking about.
yeah
The one with the red is blue
Red.
song.
is blue. Yeah.
Hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked.
That one.
Yes, there we go.
All right. Okay. So hoodwink style, getting the bodies tomorrow.
All right. So you guys have thrown a lot of stupid ideas around. So what is the actual stupid idea that you're going with as a party?
I think we're going to go up and, as the sheriff, I'm going to close off the area around the lift and get wagons and not be suspicious at all.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's okay for it to be suspicious. We're going to Mar. Like,
And also, we won't
It's
be
okay for
so
people to know
unsuspicious
something
that it's
happened.
suspicious. Like, if you're walking around and you look completely not suspicious, that's kind of suspicious in and of itself.
yeah. So what Ben said.
All right. So you're going up the lift by yourself at first?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Well, why don't we just all go up the lift and
Because
And-
then who's going to load the bodies up?
But if the
well,
bodies are
I'll
with
go up the
us-
lift with the bodies, and Angi will get out, and then we'll close the door and not let anyone in to see the bodies, and not let anyone in to go down. But I don't want to be left down here.
Yeah, me neither.
Now it's gonna look like we did all the stuff, except for we don't gnaw on things. So, all right, let's go.
Except a good potato soup.
You gnaw on your
Potatoes.
potato soups.
Not a good potato soup if you have to gnaw on it, bro.
I guess that
Them
means they're a
potatoes
little
aren't
undercooked.
cooked well enough.
All free cook for you.
No, it's so good that you gnaw on the wooden spoon afterwards.
Oh, okay.
all right. So
All right,
Um,
I'll go.
a grisly scene commences as our heroes pull together the mangled corpse of a dwarven lass as well as the severed remnants of what you think was probably a young dwarven man, and sort of bundle this grisly package up, and everyone sort of like gives it as wide a berth on the crowded lift as they possibly can, given the fact that there are, 6 of you.
We
On
all
the
stand
lift.
in opposite corners facing the corner so we don't, get any.
And slowly you begin to
Fumes.
work the hand pull. You can hear the creak of the ropes as the counterweights descend, and the lift slowly ascends back up to the middle level.
Please, nobody cut the rope. I've been afraid of this from the beginning.
All right, Angi,
Of your life, or
what are you doing?
All right, I am. When we get to the top, what do we see?
The mid levels are of this particular end are mostly full of workmen, because there are several shafts like the one that you just ascended that are go down to different places and lower diggings where the Fireheart dwarves are trying to recover the basically these lower chambers that were sealed when in the mines collapse when the last king of the Fireheart basically took the whole, did the Samson and the pillars of the temple
Right,
kind of a thing.
Took it with him. Okay, so there's a number of workmen milling about doing workman-y things.
Yeah.
All right. All right, lads. This particular area is closed for the day, courtesy of Queen Ma, or King Ma rather. So, go down some of the other shafts, or take the day.
Give me an awe roll.
That's my best skill.
Yes.
Does it help that I have a standing of 4?
Oh, I would hope that's your best skill.
I don't think it's my best skill. Oh, I gotta find Angi on this list somewhere down here. There he is. I don't think it's my best skill. It's not terrible. +9?
Oh,
Wait, no, +2 now. I cleared that. So just +2.
All right. Well, with a 23, 22, 23. So it's
Well,
+9.
they're selling +2, so it's a 15.
Why do you have so much shadow?
No, he just has 2.
Yeah, sorry. It's actually just 2.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
cleared it because I took
That's right.
ahead of this.
So
particular-
15. Okay, 15. You've got high standing. So everybody kind of looks at you, and one of the foremen kind of squints and seems like he's about to challenge you, and then somebody kind of like taps on the shoulders like, "That's the marshal." And he kind of looks at you and kind of shrugs, and he turns around and says, "All right, lads, you heard the man. Let's go home. I'm still billing these hours, though."
Union rules? What do I say?
Paid time off. It's a new thing. King Mar is instituting it today only.
So with a good deal of grumbling, it probably takes a good 20 minutes to like bring all the workers up from the various mines and like the various mine shafts and like clear everybody out. And the whole time you're just sort of like constantly aware of like the soggy, dripping bundle of cloaks and body limbs.
Do they have any wagons or anything like that?
Oh, there are definitely, yeah. There's all kinds of
All
like,
right,
like hand operated mine carts.
All right. Well, I'm commandeering that mine cart and that mine cart and that top.
The workers kind of like that were pushing them off kind of look back over your shoulder.
You can
They're
collect
like-
them from the from King Maul's house. What is King Maul? King Maul's place when we're done.
So kind of shrug at each other, and one of them swears a bit under his breath, but they leave. Of course, all three carts are full of debris.
All right. Well, I tip the debris out.
All right. You're just gonna dump. Okay.
Someone will clean that up. We're the ones that
There
gotta
will
clean that
be
up.
a written complaint as well as a tally of hours and productivity lost.
You could always go work in one of the other shafts. It's not like this is the only place in the entire mine.
I am going to work on the shaft, all right.
Don't hurt yourself.
Oh. So it takes about 20 minutes, but the last of the dwarven workers storm off as Angi begins basically undoing the last 2 or 3 hours of work, dumping out these carts of debris and ore, and like not
Right.
bothering to like sort them, just
Right.
being a jerk.
You gotta have something to put the bodies in.
All right.
Right. They're empty, and we put the bodies in and cover them up in tarps. Tarpaulins.
All right. So you guys are headed to King Mar's hall.
Is there any way I can make sure, like, double check that these are well covered? like, is that like an awareness check to make sure that there's like
Oh, I mean-
no like a dripping, gory hand trailing behind us while we trundle down the street?
Yeah, I mean, it looks, the lighting here is not the best, but it looks relatively solid.
Oh, well, I have dark for dark business, which is one of the last remaining abilities of the Great Elf Dwarves.
What does dark for dark business do?
If you are making a roll using awareness while in the dark, at night, underground, or in a deep forest, you roll a feat die twice and keep the best result.
Oh, it's
Hey.
an awareness roll.
Okay. It is one of the, I think it's the only remaining Great Elf Dwarf ability still in use.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, they're mining carts from the mine that you're going to just push into the middle of King Mar's hall. Covered over, draped in very secretive looking canvas.
Is there a
Probably.
back way that maybe would be a better place to take these? Like wherever, I'm sure that supplies get delivered to the palace and they don't bring them in right down the front hall.
Well, what I was wondering is if somebody should go ahead and like notify Mar that we're coming. Maybe not all the details, but Angi's on the way and it's something serious.
If just taking a mining cart to King Mar's hall, whether or not you're using like the supply entrance, is going to cause a stir. Given the fact that it's a mining cart, it's covered in canvas, and that these are dwarves, people are probably going to assume you guys hit a particularly valuable load of ore.
Right. Like
That
we
you
found
don't
one of the
want-
Fireheart or something.
And that you're not willing to share with the rest of the mine. So you're like
So
trying
we're
to,
going to get a whole bunch of other people trying to go down that mine shaft to get a piece of this.
Well, not if the news goes out fast enough. Would y'all like me to go ahead and tell King Mar that something's coming?
Would there be a
And if
better
she would like
place
us to
to
Yeah,
take
sure.
this and invite Mar to come see it rather than like taking it to her front door?
Or we could go tell her what it is and ask her where she wants, what she wants
Yeah.
us to do with it.
She might not want that in her court.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be pretty dramatic to come in with a mine cart full of body pieces and then rip the tarp off, but not
Yeah.
very respectful
Yeah.
and probably unnecessary.
So we've got the bodies in the cart. It's been double checked by Angi. should we take the cart to Mar, or should we like split up and some of us guard the bodies and a couple other people go to King Mar and ask her what we should do?
I say we
I'm
split the
kind of
party.
voting Ongi. I vote split the party and send Ongi and I'm doing it too now.
You do.
Augusta. Yes.
Okay.
I kept thinking Isolde, but that's me, not you. But she knows the two of y'all pretty well.
And I guess nobody would think anything of the fact of us walking down Main Street.
Right? Because you walk all the time.
That's all we do. All right, I guess we'll go.
And the mine is closed right now, so there shouldn't be anyone coming in and out, like just accidentally. Because you did
Right.
close it for the whole day.
Unless someone is suspicious that we found all their dead bodies.
Yeah, well, unless there's an actual fight, it should be quiet.
All right, then Idun and I, let's go before we discuss the city further and
Okay.
find additional alternatives, and deliver the news to King Mar.
So Angi and Idun, the two of you, perhaps hand in hand, though realistically probably not, make your way. I mean, I feel like dwarves are probably a little standoffish about PDA, so the two of you make your way through the middle levels of the Fireheart mine, which are not a single level, but actually 4 or 5 levels kind of clustered around the entrance. This is the place that when King Mar and the others initially discover the Fireheart, this is where they entered. So you recall there's sort of a series of sort of long zigzag passages that led out to the surface. But then here within the mine, they open on a huge gallery of probably 40, 50, 60 feet up. A huge gallery, once a natural cavern, but now carved by the skillful hand of dwarves to basically show like a many pillared, many columns, many pillars of delicate stone lattice work high above your head, sort of this vaulted, almost like a Gothic cathedral ceiling, but all carved from the living rock. And at the end of this long gallery is has several smaller passages opening off to it on either side. And here you can see tons of dwarves just busy going about their work, occupied with a number of tasks, miners, craftsmen, here and there, the rarest of all things, a small dwarven family unit, making their way. There is, in fact, along the main gallery, there is what appears to sort of be a marketplace that has slowly begun to form over the last few years. It's only dwarven merchants at this point, mostly from the Fireheart, but there are also many here now from Erebor and even a few from the distant Blue Mountains. The thing that the Fireheart needs most is food from the outside, because there's no real way to grow it here in the mountains. And so in the marketplace, you see dwarves of Erebor who have brought food, produce, salted fish, preserved pork, etc., from the Long Lake and from Dale, and they're now selling it here in the marketplace. And all of these things, and it's not really a loud marketplace because they're dwarves after all, but there's kind of a low rumble of murmur of conversation, a bit of haggling, now and then an oath that sort of breaks above the pitch of the rest of the conversation. And but you make your way through this long gallery to the entrance to King Mar's Hall at the opposite end. And there's a series of 3 doorways you pass through, each of them guarded. Of course, there's no difficulty for either of you getting access to King Mar. And when you finally enter the Great Hall, you see King Mar sitting there on a throne of carven stone. The throne itself is actually still scarred and partly shattered from when the Fireheart fell long ago. And although most of the throne room has now been restored, the throne remains as it was when Mar first found it. On ye doing? What can I do for you?
Is there other folks in the court?
Yeah, there's probably half a dozen.
If I could have a private word, Your Majesty.
Oh, I see what this is about. She winks at Idun. Finally decided to start taking those walks in more private places.
We did go to a more private place.
Say
No,
no
Things
more,
are just
say no
turning
more.
progressively redder.
It's not like that, and it's sort.
I've got the finest wedding gift. I've had it picked out for the last 3 years. All right. I'm sure you don't want to air your business in front of everyone.
Well,
Give us a wee bit of space. Now then, tell me, how did he do it?
Well, that's just what we're trying to find out. And we don't know if it's a he or a they or...
Oh, don't you start with the gender confusion.
No, it's more of a. We went down into the lower mines for one of my famous ghost tours, and we discovered some remains of dwarves.
Remains of dwarves like a sign of the previous
Murdered.
settlement.
No, like what's that little club that that little bees constantly sending on errands down into the underground? I don't remember what they call themselves, but at least 2 of them are no longer. I guess their membership has been revoked.
What are you talking about, man?
Permanently?
Clubs?
Fine. All right. I guess I'm the marshal. You don't have to worry about these things. So there's this little group of young dwarves, and they go down to the lower parts, and they scurry about finding new things and going places where they're not supposed to go.
And you knew about this?
I mean, I tell them not to, but you know, young dwarves, they do things.
Except for
And,
2 of them won't be doing things now because
Right.
they're dead.
But dead? Why
Yes,
didn't
that
you
is what
leave with
Angi's
that?
been trying to tell you.
I mean,
Not like, you know.
you come into my court and you say, "Oh, King Mar, we've got something special and secret to tell you," and we're all giggly and making eyes at each other. Like, maybe you could just lead with a murder next time.
I tried to. All right. In any case, we have the remains, and we did not want to start stir.
Well,
And
who did it?
well, I mean, the process of attempting to figure that out. That being sort of my job, I guess.
All right, so they were murdered.
But we were hoping you might be able to. Right. We were hoping you might be able to retain the remains.
Retain the remains. You didn't bring them here, did you?
Well, we
Not-
couldn't
not
leave
yet.
them down
No.
in the bottom of the mine, could we?
Right. One of them was under the elevator, and we all sort of squashed it.
You did what?
We have this really fat hobbit that hangs out with us now, and
Are you
yeah,
talking about little Bradius?
no, Sancho.
There's-
He's new.
there's
He just
2
came
of
in.
them
His soldier
now.
brought him back with her.
Are they multiplying?
They're right, but this one has both eyes.
And I think all of his wits, you know, Little B, I mean, he never was quite right, but he definitely wasn't right after that dragon. But Sancho seems about as sane as a hobbit can be hoped to be.
And he's got
Right,
an
right.
elven sword.
Oh, so it's actually a dwarven sword.
Oh, he's got a dwarven sword that he got from an elf.
So, right. Well, something will have to be done about the remains to be sure. You can't bring them here. That'd be madness.
Where would you? Well, the idea is we want to keep this quiet in case, I don't know, perhaps other members of the club and or Little B himself did the deed. We don't want them to scamper off into
Right.
some desperately distant side tunnel. We'll never find them.
Where are the remains now?
They're last time I left them. They're in hand carts. At the shaft where we went down. They're under tops. We gave the miners there the day off.
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
I gave them the day off.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. I let it be known there's been a collapse in one of the shafts. 2 workers were killed in the collapse, and for the time being, we're going to leave that wing closed. Right?
All right.
I'll send someone to make sure that the bodies are buried and their families are notified, but not a word to anyone about the M word.
All right. Now,
And,
that's not marriage, right? The M word, I mean.
Oh, he's a difficult one, isn't he? I don't really know why you put up with it. You know, there's many a fine dwarven lad you do that would be more than happy to do a little more than walking through the streets with you.
Don't you start on it too.
All right, so you gotta find who did this. Do you have any leads? Any suspicions?
Well, they do, and some of the others are familiar with the fact that apparently they get their tips from Little B. So obviously he's the place to start.
You don't think that little B would dismember someone?
Little B got his diamond eye as a gift from Kibblezone the Silver.
All right, little B's a little odd perhaps, but he's not evil.
I mean, remains to be seen.
Remains
Only
to
if
be
you lift the
seen.
tarp.
Right.
I mean, if nothing else, if we bang his head against the wall a few times and his diamond might pop out.
Yeah, you've tried that, haven't you?
I mean, not with real vigor that I could apply with a bit of royal
All right,
blessing and
just go
love.
gentle on little B. He's good folk. His habits, they're good folk. They're a little peculiar, but he's good folk, and he's been very valuable to lots of our miners.
In what way?
I mean, he knows his way around the place. He does.
Right, that's a bit what I'm afraid of.
I'm just saying, go easy on him. You know, I remember back in my day, a dwarf was innocent until he was proven guilty. Unless
Oh,
that
He's
wasn't
not a
all.
dwarf. He is an
That's
insane
right.
hobbit who worships evil dragons.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but
Okay, he worshipped. We'll put it in the past tense. We're not sure he still does, but
all right. Talk to little B, see what he knows. If he gives you any trouble, let him know that that I've asked. That if he would be so kind as to assist you in every possible way with your inquiries, I'd be most grateful.
Oh, right, as a favor to your majesty.
Exactly. As a favor to my majesty.
All right. Well, we will be doing that, and will you be sending some folks around for the remains?
I'll send someone along.
All right, and have them meet have the rest of them meet us at Little Bee's place. Idun, darling, do you know the names of the other members?
I'm sorry, the rest of whom?
Oh, the others are friends. What's it? Sancho and Onar and
Isolda?
Isolda, right? The not dwarf, and Solmander, who is also not a dwarf.
So what about them?
Well, they're watching the bodies, so when you send someone to take the bodies, tell our friends to meet us at Little Bees.
It's just common knowledge among visitors that there's murder in the Fireheart mines.
Well, they did help us crush the first body. It's a bit hard once it's, oozing out from under the floorboards of the elevator.
And
Isolda has lived there for 2 years.
If in future you are not to mention the squishing. Not to me, not to anyone else.
Especially not to the families.
Right. I feel like it would maybe undermine your image as Marshal a bit if it were known that you were in the habit of accidentally squishing the victims of heinous murders.
Oh, that's fair. I could possibly leave it off my report if that's what you're asking for.
Right, well, if you've been writing the reports this whole time, Angie, I haven't been reading them.
Angie goes a little flat. Oh, all right. Well, if you ever get a hankering to know exactly what sort of crime and deviousness the various dwarves of the hot fire mines can get up to, then you simply have to request my files.
Your files.
My files.
Do you mean the ones you use on your toes? Because I've seen those files.
No, that's a different file.
All right, I feel like this conversation is rapidly spiraling downward into nonsense. So I'm going to say, why don't you go get your friends and investigate this murder, and in the meantime, we'll try to keep things as hush-hush as we possibly can.
Right. Oh, but all right. So I guess we're going to go get them. And what, were you going to send some of your boys down with me to take care of the bits?
Let us not refer to the remains of our beloved kinswoman and kinsman as the bits. Just as we will not refer to the squishing of the remains.
Right, all right. I guess I'll leave that bit of language off of the reports, if you wish. I mean, this seems a bit specific, given that you don't plan on reading it.
Angie, go.
All right, I'm going. She used to be a librarian. You think she'd appreciate a collected collection of files?
Oh,
Do you write, Angie? I mean, it would be really crushing if I discovered that you can't possibly manage to write me a letter, but you can write long and extensive, boring files about your job.
Well, they're not really that long, and I mean, they're sort of in my own shorthand.
Yeah, Mara appreciates a good record, for sure. Goes my vocals.
Well, that's why he didn't have time. He was too busy writing all of these files.
And you should know, dude, that the only reason I haven't written your letters recently is because I haven't had to. I mean...
Yes, but before...
Well, I hadn't really mastered the art at the time. I've come up in the world, less, rumbling about. It's very difficult to hang on to paper and ink and those things when you're out fighting trolls and, tossing them into bottomless pits and things.
Tell that to Warsong.
Well, some people have different priorities.
All right, in the meantime, what are the rest of you jokers doing as you're just standing around the bodies?
Not looking at the bodies.
Oh no, what are
Probably.
you doing?
So,
I have no clue.
Onar, where? I'm sorry for this introduction to the mines. This is, I mean, I've only been here for a couple of years, but this is unusual. You too, Solmander. Well, Sancho, all of you. This is not really the best.
There aren't usually dead bodies.
Not normally. This is quite new.
Well, I mean, it would probably be bound to happen sooner or later. We just don't want to really think about it.
Well, no, it's not bound to happen sooner or later. One would certainly
So
hope it.
what do you think happened to them? Their bones look like they'd been gnawed on by an animal.
Well, you just said it.
What kind of animal lives in a mine? There can't be very many. I haven't seen any animals.
She looks at Onar. Do I have the name wrong?
That's
No,
right.
that's right.
Onar. She looks at Onar. You're the dwarf here. What kind of animals live in mines?
You have cats here?
I don't know what.
Everywhere has
Richard's
cats.
got that. Is there a specific animal, Richard, that I would know of?
There's no native animals. Basically, certainly not anything you would consider an animal, except for like maybe, cave fish in subterranean lakes, things like that.
It's got to be.
There are definitely lots of bugs, and theoretically, if you go down far enough, you'll find all sorts of things alive, but I certainly wouldn't call them animals.
What would you call them?
The ancient things that gnaw at the roots of the mountain.
They gnaw. That's it.
Yes.
We're looking for things that gnaw.
Nicely done.
But these dwarves weren't very far down. Do you think that the things that live way down are coming up?
Well, it might be, or it might have something to do with whatever lived here before, or how far away are we from the dragon?
I thought dragons just burned people up and then ate them whole.
Well, but this dragon had a whole bunch of people with it. Or not people, but, goblins.
It had goblins?
Yeah, a whole army. Didn't you hear about that?
At this point, you see two dwarves rounding the corner.
Go away! Mine's closed! Go away! Go away!
Right, what's going on here?
Who are they?
They're two young dwarves. You don't recognize either of them.
Oh, what are your names?
But they're your names!
I'm Isolda.
The
I'm
mine
here
is
to-
being fumigated for rodents.
She eyes the. I'm here under orders of Ongi.
Give me an awe roll, Isolde.
All right.
I'm not going to make you roll for fumigation lies because...
Would that be riddle?
No, that's just not a thing.
Okay.
That's like roll for Three Stooges. It's not a skill in this game.
Could I say, so would you please answer a few questions and change that to courtesy?
No, I think if you're going to appeal to Ongi, that's an appeal to authority, so it's going to be awe.
Stink. Okay, I'm really good at awe.
Are you really good at awe? Are you really good at awe?
You're
Aw!
sufficiently good at awe.
Whoa. Well, that's cool. I'm
Nice.
really awful.
Oh, sorry, we didn't hear about it. We'll come back later then.
Well, I need to take your names down.
You'll need to take our names down.
Funky likes to write things down
And Richard,
for his reports.
can I roll insight to see like if they seem to be like if maybe they're giving off the vibe that they're just here for the mine or if they're here for something else?
Sure, give me an insight roll. Our names are Feely and Keely.
No, they aren't.
They're not.
Well, I failed.
Can you spend on it? Do you have courage?
Oh, I do have courage. I've got 5 courage. I'll spend a courage on that. That'll make that a 20.
I mean, looking over them, they all have what appears to be like you would guess as like rappelling gear, backpacks. No weapons, but they look like they're kitted out for spelunking.
They were gonna go find their friends.
So Keely and Feely. You aren't-
Keely and Feely.
Are they lying? Does that give me knowledge on whether or not they're lying about their names too?
Isolde already knows they're lying.
You're guessing
If
that
Idun
No, it
was here,
sounds
she would
legit.
also
Their
know
names
they were
rhyme.
lying.
you're guessing that their names are not Keely and Feely, PJ.
Most dwarves have names that rhyme.
Yes, yes.
That's right. What
Garfunkel.
the halfling says is true. Most dwarves have names that rhyme. Ours clearly rhyme. We are clearly dwarves. It all checks out. So we'll see you later.
You know, I've been
They're
around
Russian
here for a little
dwarves.
while.
I don't know. I started losing it.
I'm sure y'all were just here for mining
Comrades.
purposes too, weren't you?
For mining purposes. Oh, well, of course, this is a mine shaft. We are just here to work. We didn't know it was closed. But
I mean,
now that we do know it's closed, we'll just be heading on our way. Thank you very much, strange tall people and halfling and silent dwarf.
if you were here
Well-
if you were here for mining, then why do you have splunking gear?
Why do we have spelunking gear?
Yes.
That's a great question. Keely, why do we have spelunking gear?
Wait,
He
I
was
thought you were
Feely.
Keely.
Oh,
Yes.
right. That's what I meant to say. The problem with
So-
having rhyming names, you easily get them confused. Feely, why
What's
don't
your
you tell them
actual
why
name?
we have spelunking gear? Oh, right. Well, we have spelunking gear because on account of the there's a spelunk loose in the mines. Hey, a spelunk. There's a spelunk loose
Wait,
in the mines,
do
we,
spelunks gnaw on people's bones?
Isolde is glaring
Well,
at shut elbow.
It's true
Penis.
that the spelunks are highly dangerous. So you probably better let us just get on with our business then. We don't want that spelunk getting loose in the upper level.
Yeah.
Are there many spelunks around here?
Oh, it's just crawling with them. Aye, spelunks everywhere.
Yes.
Are there spelunks here on the upper level?
It's working. There are I mean, you never know that spelunks can just be hiding out behind any stalactite or stalagmite. Which one is the one that goes? I think it's the stalagmite goes. Stalagmites go up and stalactites come down. Are you sure?
The
That doesn't seem
stalagmite
right to
might
me.
make it to the top, but the
Oh,
stalactite
right.
has to
See,
hold
that's
on
how my
tight.
father- That's how my father taught it. Yeah, right. Yeah, spelunks behind every mite and tight. So, well, it's been.
Well, maybe we should stay with you because you seem to know how to handle all
Oh
of
no,
this.
I don't think it's a great idea. Spelunks are something that had to be handled by professionals. So, right.
Well, yes,
Spelunk
you're a
license.
professional, right? You look like a professional with all that gear.
I.
So maybe
Maybe.
we should stay with you so that if anything comes out, then you know how to take care of it.
Oh. I feel like that's
I mean, I'm not a dwarf.
rather
and-
difficult logic to agree with, Keely. Aye, very tricky indeed, Feely. Perhaps, maybe you'd better stay here with them, and I'll just run back to check in
No,
with the
Actually, I'm really
spelunking captain.
I'm really concerned about this, and I think that it's something that should definitely be brought to the attention of Ongi, because
Oh,
he'd be very he never mentioned it.
Where is Angi right now?
Well, he'll be back in just a minute or two.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I probably shouldn't mention this, but actually we're on the secret spelunking mission from Angie, so we better get on our way. If he finds us here and we are not doing our jobs, we could be in all sorts of trouble. So I think we
It's all
better-
right. We know Ongi. We're all good friends. Here, come and have a seat, and he'll be able to verify.
No, it's not necessary. Just, I mean, if he stops by, you can tell him that you saw
I'm sure.
Feely and
I'm sure it will be
Keely,
fine.
and that you saw them. They were busy about their jobs, and we'll just take the lift down, and
You
we'll
know,
see you.
You know, it's
Actually, well, if I could talk to you for we actually know about the secret spelunking team.
You know about the secret spelunking.
Little B told me all about it.
Little P told you.
Rudius.
No, all right. So, what did he tell you exactly?
To be on the lookout for 2 dwarfs, but that fit your description.
Oh, right.
and that they would use
description.
code names, stupid
Mhm.
names that anyone could figure out, like Feely and Keely.
That's very specific of Little B to have said that.
And that if you come, we should offer you some potato soup.
Swoop. Right. Well,
It's almost half past the mid-afternoon meal. We hobbits like to tell time with
don't
with
typically
food.
eat for like another 6 hours, so that's all right. We'll get you on the flip side. Well, if you've already talked to Little B, you know we've got to be off. So it's good meeting you all. And they start sort of backing towards the elevator.
Solmander grab them both by the collars and pull them back?
Oh, you're very large, and you have very large hands, and I'm not really comfortable with this invasion in my personal space. Are you, Feely? No, Keely, I am definitely uncomfortable with this invasion of my personal space.
So, what's your actual names? Well, y'all are very uncomfortable in personal space.
Give me an R roll.
All right. Not great. That's definitely not good enough.
Our names, they're Feely and Keely. We're the great nephews of the famous Feely and Keely Oakenshield, who you, of course, heard of as they're very famous dwarves. So,
Now, I'm a hobbit, and I'm not from around here, but even I can tell that this is a very obvious lie. And as you know, we have friends in high places,
that's just the
and
wrong
we would like,
accusation you're making
and
there.
I think it will be much easier for everyone if you simply tell us the truth, and then we can go on from there. Can I use persuade for that?
Sure. All right. Fine. Our names are not Feely and Keely.
Oh, we know that.
Let them talk.
My name is Nolly, and this is Name. We're you could say we're explorers. That's what we are. We're part of losing the accent again. We are part of King Mar's unofficial exploration brigade. Aye. The deep delver. We're the deep delvers. Aye. And our motto is you can never delve too greedily or too deeply.
So, who heads up this brigade for
Oh,
King Mar?
heads up
I mean,
the
under
brigade.
King Mar, of course.
Right under King Mar. That would be our fearless leader Dunri. Aye, he heads up the brigade. We seek for secrets in the deep places, and we hope someday to open up these passages for the betterment of the Fireheart community. Not to mention our own fame and personal remuneration.
Obviously, of course. When was the last time you spoke to Denori?
To Dunri? Oh,
Yes.
I suppose it's been a couple of days. Aye, a couple of days. Strictly speaking, we're not official. You understand? We're I mean, I know you can't tell because and they're both, so the two dwarven they're obviously brothers. Like they're almost completely identical. They both have kind of short, bushy beards. The only difference that you can like visibly make out between the two of them is that the one named the one in Nain actually has dyed his beard blue. The other one is just like a short, dark beard. But other than that, they're just like totally identical. You have to understand, we're not totally official, as you might say. And there are some people who might misunderstanding our goals and our altruism might take slight exception to what we're doing here. But as you can tell, we're both quite old dwarves and definitely adults and able to make these decisions in a responsible capacity. So if that's all your questions.
Oh, I can tell you're much older than me.
Oh, right, you must be at least, you're probably no more than, what, you'd say 75 or 80?
No more than that. So
Angie and Edun, this is about when you guys arrive back with the, along with about 4 people to handle the burial.
All right,
Everyone's
do
gonna
we
grab
recognize
Angi's arm
them?
and be like, "That's the other ones."
Is that all of them?
Do I know if there are more than these two?
There might be, you're not really sure.
She just shrugs.
Oh,
at Ongi's, here's a couple of...
It's Angie. We better get going.
No, Ongi wanted to talk to you.
right.
Ongi,
Exactly,
you want to talk to these two.
Oh, we were looking for you.
You're looking for us?
Right.
Thought those spelunks hiding everywhere.
Right. This
I was explaining to the toll last here about the spelunks hiding everywhere. We are just about to take care of that, Mr. Angie, sir. So
oh, that's good. Everybody did.
yes. So
You
there's
should
no
do
need.
something about the spelunks. They can get out of hand very quickly.
It's very important. You understand how it is. So if
Right,
if
now-
that'll be all.
I thought, Ongi, we could go to your rooms or some place private and talk about this spelunk problem that's come up.
Well,
private though.
All right,
I like
boys.
public places. Lots of
This way,
witnesses.
over here, next to the cart, right here.
Right?
Lots of witnesses.
Right. Well, these guys with me already know they're here to bury bodies, but the other
The
two.
kids don't know
Now look
about the
here.
bodies.
Right. Now look here. You're part of the group that goes the Deep Devils, right? Is that what you're called?
The deep delver. I mean, it's unofficial, but we're lobbying actually for official recognition.
Right, as in you've hung around the hole once or twice.
Hey, no, you never go there.
Right, in any
That'd be
case.
crazy.
Well, then who are you lobbying exactly?
Hey, well, our parents.
Edun nudges and was like, "This really isn't
Right. So, when was the last time you saw? What was
Joonery and Dees?
right? When did the last time you saw those two?
Hey, probably at the last meeting. When did you say?
When was
Hey.
the last meeting?
Oh, a couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago. Did you make plans at said meeting?
Plans at said meeting. I suppose we could get the meeting minutes if you'd like to see those.
Right. No, I'll need you to be very straightforward with me, boys,
Hey?
because I'm about to. Yeah. What were your plans?
Well, we our plans. Our plans were we were going to go down into the lower levels, and see if we could open up one of the collapsed mine shafts. We're hoping to find some treasure down below that we could claim for ourselves.
Right. And did you
So
send?
hold on, Udun is like moving in between Angi and the cart so that he can't easily flip this thing back because that's a
Right.
terrible plan.
Right.
But she's kind of afraid that was what he had in mind.
Fair enough.
And your friends, the two, Dunri and I'll forget the young lady's name.
Dees.
Dunri and Dees. They
Hey?
went down ahead to scout out.
Oh, I mean, not that I know of. We are supposed to meet up here, in fact.
You're supposed to meet up here.
Can I roll insight to see if they're telling the truth?
Sure.
Right. Well,
Dang it! I guess I'll spend another one of courage.
Wait, I will also roll insight? No. Okay.
Was there something in? I guess I should just roll while everybody's rolling. Well, insight is not custom, so that's +2, so that's an 11.
I
right.
spent a point of courage on mine to get mine up, Richard.
Keep in mind, this is an encounter, so if you guys all decide to roll and you start whiffing things, that uses up your tolerance.
Nice. Okay. Right. So you wanted to open up the lower passages.
Right, well, I mean, all of them, just to do a bit of exploring and see if we can find some treasure.
Right. Now, is there why that particular passage, this particular bit? Any just shotgunning it, just hoping for the best? Shotgunning is not a word.
We thought we'd try our luck.
Blunderbussing it?
It was the halfling. He mentioned that this might be a fruitful area of exploration.
Right, and why did he say that?
What do you mean? Why did he say that?
As in, what reasoning did he provide for this being a fruitful area of exploration?
Well, because it's further down, and everybody knows the further down you go, the more treasure you find.
I mean, sure, I suppose. Well, boys,
Aye?
I think probably this is not going to be a good time to be going down below.
All right.
I think you should probably...
Should we just let the others know then that it's off, the trip is off?
I guess I should ask, who else is part of these deep divers? There's Dunri and Dees, and then you two.
Aye.
Who else?
And Dunri and Dees and Dufa.
And Dofer. Oh.
Dufa.
Doofer, all right.
No, Dufa.
Yes, do go ahead and tell Doofer.
We'll let her know that it's off.
Have you seen her recently?
Have we seen Dufa?
Yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, not since yesterday.
Is that usual, or
Out of
would you?
morbid curiosity, you all of
do all of you dwarves happen to know that which ones of you are boy dwarfs and girl dwarfs?
They both look at each other. Is this a trick question?
No, I mean, is this? He turns to Adun. Is this a young person thing?
I mean, we can tell if that's what you're asking.
Oh, right. Well, tell Doofer that the delving's off, and probably this bit is going to be closed for a bit.
Hey, we'll let Doonry and Dees know as well.
Yeah, sure.
They already know.
Right.
They do? I mean, well, fat lot of help they were not even mentioning to us. We took a whole trip down here. We had to make up all sorts of lies, and we're getting nothing out of it. We'll have to try one of the other passages.
No, I suggest you not do any passages today.
No passage, but we're the deep delvers, not to stay at the middle levelers.
Well, you know what? If I can
How often do you let Little B know? The Hobbit know what you found. What you found.
Well, truth be told, we haven't found a whole lot of anything yet, but I don't suppose we'd let him know if we did find something. I mean, after all, finders keepers.
Makes sense.
And the losers, well, they're the weepers in this equation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you don't want to be the deep dyers, stay out of the lower levels. All right.
Oh,
And I know.
I see. This is a sort of a thing where you're a strict authoritarian figure and you're warning us off, but you're a companion here, your partner here. She's the easygoing, free-spirited one, and she's giving us a bit of a wink and a nudge, isn't she?
No, I'm not. You don't want to go down there. There was a collapse. Some people were killed, and we don't want more to get added.
People were killed? Who was killed?
Well, a couple people who were delving a little bit too deeply, so we don't want it to be
carrying anything of value? Do you need somebody else to go down after it?
No, we have taken care of it, but it's not safe yet.
So there's I see, right. Of course. Well, we won't do anything foolish, of course. You must be very busy with your ongoing investigation and whatnot, so we'll be on our way.
I turn to Adun. Do we just show them?
You probably should.
Well,
all right.
Back down.
Come here, you fools! And I flip the tarp off of one of the
I'm
wagons.
standing in front of it.
Yeah.
So he can't do that
It's going to
easily.
be treasure, isn't it?
No, it's not treasure.
I smell a cover-up.
Now,
It's completely a cover-up, but I'm mostly trying to save your lives because you somehow think we're all trying to, keep you away from the biggest score of your life.
Right, that's why you're standing here with this cart full of valuable ore, which you're not willing to share with the rest of the
Idun is
mine.
going to stick her arm. I'm going to stick my hand down in there, and I'm going to try to find part of the cloak that's bloody. Like, not any body parts, but just the bloody cloak.
Roll a d12.
Oh no.
Can I just, it's bloody in there, right?
Just to see what you grab.
Slash.
Okay.
Give me a d12.
Actually, because I think all I'm going to do, if my hand is covered in blood, I'm just going to pull it back out and show
Give me a
them that
d12. I still want to know
Yes,
what
I
you
know.
grab.
I'm working on it.
All right. You reach in, and your hand closes around a cold, slightly grizzled rib bone.
Does it feel like my hand is bloody and like
There's
drippy and
not
oozy?
a lot of blood. Most
Okay.
of the blood had drained out or dried since the killings.
Okay.
I mean, there's
Um,
there's some residue, but it's
all right, guys, I'm really sorry if this goes badly, but I'm gonna pull out the bone, and I'm gonna say this was someone who delved too deep. We're not gonna show you the rest because it's awful and no one deserves to see that, but we don't want this to be you. And she just gives them this really angry look and puts it back in. And then just wipes her hand on the tarp a little bit.
so. That's Zip. You've just filled a mining cart with body parts. That's fine. That's normal. It's totally normal adventuring. You know,
Exactly. And if you go down there, we're going to be carting you out next. So stay out. Can I do let's see, I don't even have anything in awe, but.
Go and give me an all roll anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if you have a 7 that you can add to that, it would make it.
Did you show the bond to Dunary and Dees?
They know about it.
What?
And yet they're keeping it a secret. What do you make of that?
Okay. Out of character, I feel like we should just tell them that that's Dunry and Dis.
I feel like it would just spread around the mind super fast, and it's supposed to be like people. It seemed like Mar was wanting to keep it non-specific.
I mean, I have a feeling that word's going to travel pretty fast in a mine anyway.
Right, and then
like,
pretty
as
soon people
as
are going to
anyone
wonder where
knows.
who's missing,
Right.
right?
I feel like if we don't give them enough information now, they're probably going to go
The
down
families
there.
have to be notified first. You cannot tell these teenage kids who are going to spread it around when the families haven't been notified yet.
Okay, what if we tell them and then we throw them in the dungeon? Or even better, the lower levels.
The lower levels are the dungeon. I'm pretty sure.
Right, so just believe us, kids, all right? Don't go down there.
Oh yeah,
It's
of course,
not
of course.
worth it. Right,
Hey,
and
just a mining cart full of non-specific bonds that you don't know who they belong to, and we've already
we
told
know
our
who they belong
friends,
to.
and our friends they didn't bother to tell us, which means
Your
this
friends,
means-
we have sent your friends home to their families.
there's a conspiracy here. Aye, exactly. That's what I was thinking. There's conspiracy here.
Ah!
Only one mining cart, and it won't go back into circulation.
Somewhere out there, a Dwarven Union boss dies inside a little bit.
because we took his card.
Where is my cart? All right, well, of course we'll be very safe and stay in all the upper levels and just while away the time at home until all the grown-up Dwarven folks say it's safe.
You can lock them up, right?
See you later. We're going to go now before
Can
you
you
start
lock them up,
locking up
Ongi?
adolescents, because that seems a little...
You said you were grown up.
He's
You said you were
talking.
older than me.
I don't think that locking them up is the option.
Just for like a couple days.
No.
Can we tell them that there's COVID down there?
No, dwarves have masks.
Masks.
I feel like if we're really worried about the families phoning out first, then we really all should be worried about habeas corpus.
Habeas what now? Don't mind him. That's one of their surface dweller necromancy terms. It's all tied up in it. Aye, surface dweller necromancy. That explains the bones. Exactly.
Whatever. Whatever. Do whatever you want. All of you.
You just letting him walk off?
All right. Yes.
you-
All right.
you-
Now, we turn to the dwarves that came down here with us. Be quick about it. Put these in the ground and notify the families. We have to go catch Little B before these two do.
We will make sure that these bodies are laid to rest with all proper ceremony.
Of course. By all means.
Do we need to roll insight on them? Are they actually serious?
I mean, I think they need to roll insight on you guys at this point.
No kidding.
I can roll
You
insight.
guys are the most sketch.
We are super sketch.
I know, and the bad thing is we're both sketch and we actually have a minecart full of dead body parts next to us. That's the worst kind of sketch there is.
I did not realize tonight was going to be like the Dwarven Weekend at Bernie's.
That's basically
Like,
what this is. You pull a rope and a bone comes up out of the minecart. See?
See? Deuter and Dis are just fine. Oh, yeah, that is Dis's rib. Yeah, totally.
Like, I was going for a bloody cloak, but this works.
All right. We're going to see Little B. Where is he at?
Good
Hopefully
question.
wherever they're going. Should we follow them?
I think maybe we should.
Let's follow them. Can I follow them?
Give me a stealth roll.
All right. I think I'm stealthy. I'm pretty sure I'm stealthy. I might be stealthy maybe a bit.
I'm gonna go with Isolde.
I'm not stealthy.
I am though.
I'm pretty stealthy. I them, but if PJ's got it. I mean, we shouldn't all follow them.
Well, I'm not, apparently. Solmander and Onar are.
Yeah. I could. I have good stealth, but I don't want to risk one more roll that could be seen.
How much do you have in stealth?
3.
You should stealth. You can probably maybe spend it up.
Why would you say that? All right, here it goes.
Where does Little B usually
If I
hang
fail,
out?
it's your fault.
You know, I don't know.
From what
I'm so
I
glad.
Good
from
call.
what I understood, he hung out where all the food was.
Maybe the
Yes.
other half of the party could go try to find him in the normal place.
King Mars cellars are usually a pretty reliable place to look.
All right. Well, then we shall go look in King Mars cellars.
All right, so who is following and who's going to King Mars cellars?
I'm following, and I guess
Following stealthily.
Aunt Joe is following with me.
I tried to follow, but I don't think it
Well,
worked.
it's stealth is a group roll, so as long as you get enough successes to cover everybody, you're okay.
So I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Right, and then Angi, are you headed to the cellars?
Right.
I will, because I have nothing in stealth.
All right.
is Isolde going with us then?
I already rolled for it, so
Okay.
All right.
I
So,
guess so.
Isolde, Sancho, Solmander, and Onar, the silent dwarf. You can just talk up, Arthur. No, I think you're on mute.
oh, we
bud.
can't hear you?
His mic isn't working.
Have you been trying to talk this whole time?
You could have sent a
Oh,
message.
I thought it was really weird that you rolled and didn't say a thing.
Unmute
It was just
yourself,
like
bro.
this is the silentest dwarf
All
ever.
right. Well, Arthur figures out his audio visual setup. If you're using your computer, you may not have told it to use your computer audio. That often happens. So, in the meantime, the four of you head off down the tunnel, and there is one point at which one of them says, "Hey, Nolly, Aineen, do you ever get the feeling that you're being followed?" Probably just your imagination. And they kind of head back down the tunnel, as Sancho turns around and makes a big at Isolde. You follow them back down towards the main gallery, and then off to another one of the side passages that eventually takes you to another section of another one of the mines down to the almost like turning a corner around the chasm. And here it's very active. Like there are, the mining operation in this part of the mine has not been shut down at all. In fact, it seems like there are some extra dwarves here, beyond what you would normally see. But the two young dwarves kind of like skirt the edge of the miners, and a couple of them get like remarks or a boot aimed at them, but they mostly ignore it until they finally get to the very end, and there's a lift that has a very clear out of order sign in nice dwarven runes on it, and both of them kind of look over their shoulder, and then they duck into the lift, and you hear.
Can I grab them?
Don't.
To grab.
If you're following from a distance, you're definitely not close enough to grab.
Okay.
When they go
And we
down.
don't want to show them that we're after them.
And you
like,
hear
we've already done that.
you hear the creak of wheels as the lift car starts to descend.
Can we tell how low they went down? Like by waiting.
Onar can give me a lore roll to see if he knows how deep this particular shaft is. Yeah, a lore roll, but I can't hear you, Arthur. Yeah, you guys have no idea how deep this particular shaft is.
We could always throw a penny down it and see how long it takes to hear the bottom.
So the only way to get down there after them is to pull it up after they go down, and then they would know that it was being pulled up, because that wouldn't be normal, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could always try to climb the rope.
What would that be, athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Surely somewhere in this mine, somebody's got like repelling gear that you could use for that.
Those two
Yeah.
guys that
They
you're
had
following.
they had repelling gear.
It can't be terribly unusable for people to have to go down like this.
I think, can I go down after it on the rope as quickly as I can once I catch up to there?
So you're.
Or does it have to, well, do we need to wait until they've gotten all the way down?
You just want to like jump on the rope and try to hold on your way down?
I think so.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll. And I'm going to just pull up the rules for fall damage. No reason.
Yeah,
Somebody
I don't
usually
want
stick
to-
around to
this
tell the rest of
roll,
us what happens.
you were going to fall down a mine shaft, and we don't know how deep this mine shaft is because no one threw a
But
penny down it.
probably deep.
Yeah, it's a mine shaft.
Like, unless you're a bat, Jonathan, I'm not sure the penny thing is going to work that well.
Well, it doesn't matter because no one has a penny because this is Middle Earth.
I mean, there are pennies in Middle Earth.
What?
It's like a very robust currency system, depending on where you live. Of course, there are pennies.
I knew there were silver pieces and gold pieces.
Copper pennies.
Sylvander's going to put a hand on Isilda's shoulder and say, I think maybe this is the part where we go back and report to Ongi.
Can anybody read the runes?
Yeah,
that are
Onar can
written
read
over
them. Onar can read them. It says basically out of order.
What?
Hey, I have good luck. I forgot about that.
What does good luck mean, and what is your athletics?
My athletics is 1.
What's your good luck mean?
It means I can reroll the feat die once per session for any common skill.
Well,
Just like 1 plus,
the
another
highest
1
of 2
if
rolls.
it gets, yeah. No, I don't trust myself because falling down a mine shaft.
Well, we could.
That's pretty
Do we have
far and I'm
rope?
pretty short.
Do we have
Nope.
rope?
We'd be climbing down rope.
Right, but if we have rope already, then we can tie a rope to whoever's going down.
My
I don't
assumption is that you guys don't necessarily have rope on you because you weren't traveling. But
Right.
there's definitely rope around. You just have to pilch it when somebody wasn't looking.
Can we find some rope?
Sure. Do you have burglary?
Ooh.
You're a hobbit. You should.
As a
Owner has
skill?
burglary.
All things I also
Oh,
have.
I do have burglary.
All right,
I
so
want a
between
burglar
Owner and Sancho, you guys could definitely like filch a length of rope when nobody's looking.
All
Good
right.
job, Onar. Is it long enough?
There's no way to know, and also that's what she said.
We should be able to tell if it's long enough
Uh-huh.
for a decently sized
Uh-huh.
mine shaft.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I'm just going to grab it and slide down.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, so I'm going to tie it to something secure.
Who has the highest athletics?
I have 2.
I have 2.
That may be the highest.
Yeah. Not
All right.
Onar.
I have 1.
Give me an athletics roll for shaft sliding there, Jonathan.
I only have a 1 in it. No one else wants to go?
Um,
All right.
I
I'll
guess Solmander will take a
But
gander at
we're
it.
not, like, we're tying the rope securely around you. Like, not around your neck, around, like, under the arms,
Right,
making
so
a little
you-
harness for you. So
so you
you're not
guys are
going to fall and
lowering
hit the
them.
bottom. Yeah, we're lowering
go.
it.
Oh, you're
Okay.
lowering me. Okay.
Yes, that
I
was
can
the whole
roll
point of the
athletics.
rope.
No, you don't need to
Lowered.
roll athletics for that. I mean, the Hobbit is the least weighty member of your entire party.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And all of you together, like it's no trouble at all. If this was Solmander, that'd be a different story.
Right. We don't want Solmander going down like this.
All right.
No, this is good.
So
So
you
the
find
smells
yourself,
are-
Sancho, with a very strange sensation of sort of dangling over an empty abyss of darkness.
Oh,
You are
pull,
lowered.
tug like a couple of times if you need to come up quick.
Okay.
As you are
Don't say it,
slowly, as you are slowly lowered down. I just need a minute to collect myself again. As you are slowly lowered into the darkness, you have no idea how far down you are before you stop. But eventually, your feet come to rest on the top of, or basically, you come to rest in the open cart, and you can see the light of several kind of bluish lamps burning in a small space just outside the shaft.
Do I see any sign of where the dudes went?
How long
Probably
is
in the
it?
direction of the light.
All right, I'm going to go in the direction of the light.
Wait.
But I'm going to tug once on the rope so that they know I'm safely down because we arranged that system beforehand.
Seems legit.
Once to say I'm safely down and 2 to me
Yeah.
bring me up.
Well, I said twice if it was like you're running into problems.
Yeah.
But you only tugged it once, so I'm gonna guess that probably means it's not problems. Like
Right, no
I'm sitting there waiting for the second
Or
tug.
he started to tug it twice and then he died.
Yeah, that was the other possibility. But then the rope would probably shake a lot.
Anyway, I'm going to go exploring in the cave because this plan only involved the smallest member of the party coming down.
With the magic sword.
We're pulling as soon as the rope goes loose, we're pulling it up as fast as we can so that I can go down too.
Sancho. As you step out of the car,
Ah,
I also am rolling stealth.
I'm going down really quickly.
I'll let you know when you're down. Sancho, as you step out of the car, what'd you get on stealth?
15.
Okay.
Do I need to
You
spin to make it a
find
success?
you find yourself in a small, partially collapsed cavern. It is lit by these bluish lamps all around, and you see 3 figures in the middle, huddled around what appear to be old packing cases. There's a cask, there's a tapped cask of ale in the corner, and what appear to be a few like foodstuffs arranged on kind of this makeshift shelving. There's a small table in the middle, and you see the 3 figures hunched around it talking quietly. As you get closer, you see it's the 2 dwarven brothers that you talked to previously. The 3rd figure you don't recognize. It appears to be another dwarf, almost beardless,
We found their clubhouse.
and they are speaking in low tones.
So I'm not close enough to understand what they're saying.
You are close enough, but you cannot understand what they're saying. They're not speaking in common. They're not speaking in Western.
And I'm pretty sure the 3rd member is in fact a dwarf without much of a beard and not a crazy-eyed hobbit.
You're relatively sure.
Okay.
You hear me now?
Hey, there's Arthur.
Heard
sort of.
something.
Hey,
Heard you very briefly.
Okay.
Hey.
Your audio is really bad, though.
Okay.
And also, your camera's
What?
not moving now.
Here, Arthur, let me send you the call in for your phone. Let's see.
Okay.
hey.
I just sent Arthur the phone number option. Maybe you can call into the audio and have better luck that way.
So, Richard, you said that they were around some.
They're huddled
like
around
crates?
there's like various packing crates set out like seating, and they're all huddled around the small table,
Gotcha.
talking in low tones.
So like seating, so they're not like filled with anything necessarily.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and listen because it doesn't sound like there's anything else I can really do right now.
All right. Solmander, give me an athletics test for lowering the not heavy but substantially heavier than a hobbit who's basically the size of a 4-year-old child down this mine shaft.
Well, that should make it.
Okay. All right. A few minutes later, Isolde, you would guess you've had a bit of climbing experience. You would guess the mine shaft's probably about 60 feet down. Probably a good call not to like jump it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you eventually touch down and you see little B, or not little B. You see Sancho, who has been little B all along. You see Sancho standing kind of still in the entrance of the mine of the mine car, and you hear these 3 dwarves speaking kind of in low tones. They seem to be arguing about something.
Do I understand any of it?
No. You might know like 1 or 2 words, but the dwarves are very secretive with their language, and they don't really teach outsiders, even honored guests.
Well, this is very disappointing that the 2 people down here can't understand.
Give me a stealth roll, Sophie.
All right.
Stealthy.
Let me see. Get up to 13. But I can't get it up to 14.
All right. So when you drop down, the lift car actually kind of creaks underneath your weight, and immediately the three dwarven heads like snap around and look at you. One of them, the beardless one that you don't really recognize, reaches down and picks up a pick. Who goes there?
We're not here to hurt you.
Look, Nolly, it's the from before. Hey, did you follow us here? I mean,
Well,
I understand that I'm a very good-looking dwarf, but that seems kind of desperate if you ask me.
This
Who
was a nice
are they and why are they here? Nobody is supposed to come here. No, nobody but us.
well, I didn't know that. It said do not enter up there, so I assumed nobody was going to be down here.
All right. Put the
And
pick
yet I
down,
see some
Doofy.
nice ale.
All right, put the pick down, Doofy. It's all right. It's I'm sure they're just lost. You're just lost, aren't you?
Something along those lines, yes.
Right, we were just telling our friend Doofy here about how the mines are very the deep the lower diggings are very dangerous now, and how we aren't supposed to go spelunking there anymore. Orders of his heighty-tightiness, King Alfred himself, Angi, whatever his name is.
Ongi, you mean?
Aye, sure. Well, you know, one stuck-up prick is pretty much the same as the next. Now, you come and invaded our private space, and I'd like to know why.
We're checking out all the mine shafts, especially
Right.
dangerous ones. And this one looked like it was a dangerous one.
Yeah, check this one. It's clearly not dangerous, just a little bit of underage drinking. Nothing more. So,
What is the dwarvish drinking age? Is it like
it's $1.50.
Well, if you've got any left.
Oh, the Doofa translated dwarves. Oh, so now she's coming down here and she's wanting to drink from our stash.
That's fine. You keep it.
Hey, we will keep it. It's our stash. I bought it with our hard-earned money. So, right.
Sancho,
Yep,
are you creeping around doing useful things and scouting while I'm keeping them busy?
Is there anything to scout? Like, I thought this was like a one-room little.
it's totally sealed.
It's what?
It's like there's a collapsed. When it is totally collapsed, it looks very like, yeah. There's not really.
So there's really nothing to see. So I'm just going to stay hidden on the off chance that it would be
That's
helpful
right.
for
They
me to
don't
be
know you're
hidden.
there.
All right. Well, if you don't mind heading back up now, we'd like to. However you came down, we'd like to get on with our business.
All right, then.
They just all stare at you. They all stare at you expectantly.
Like, is there anything on the table? I'm thinking like maps or like.
There does appear to be like a sort of a kind of a sketched map of some different tunnel systems.
Am I close enough to get a good look at it?
Not really.
You know, ask them what the maps on the table are.
Yeah. So we've been trying to find all of the lowest mines. I was wondering if you could help me with that.
Like right now?
Well, we're here right now.
Look, I'm sure that in that fine records room, the room of Mazarble up in King Mar's palace, I'm sure they've got very meticulous records of all the mine shafts that are known. We're just a few Atlas explorers who you did not believe to be sufficiently trustworthy to be told all about your secret cart full of ribs.
You were the first dwarf that I told.
You haven't
The
told
first.
us anything except that there's a huge conspiracy and you're in it conspiring with two of our friends who mysteriously they're not here to rendezvous and discuss this mysterious thing, which means that they must already be headed to where the treasure is. So unless you want to come
I'm
clean,
moving forward a little bit as I'm talking to them.
as you do that, the beardless dwarf raises the pick again and takes steps forward and says, "One more step, legs, and I'm gonna break both of your oversized kneecaps."
I'm not trying to hurt anyone, and I'm not in a conspiracy. And you really were the first dwarves I told.
Right. Well, you've made it pretty clear that you don't want our help, so we don't want yours either.
What do you mean? I just asked you for
I think
help.
what you meant to say is that we were pretty clear that we don't want their help, and so we don't want to give them ours either. I know, but that's not nearly as good of a threat, is it? No, that's fair.
Well,
We're sticking with our thing. You made it pretty clear that you didn't want our help, so we're not going to give you ours either.
well, what if
we
I
don't want
ask you
yours
for help?
either. I'm very confused now.
So can I see it at all?
You can give me a lore roll.
Look,
Hey, Arthur.
I'll talk to Ongi. I mean,
Hey.
Marshall Ongi. I'll see if I can get you some maps of some sort. Or something. What is it that you want?
We don't want to be left alone. Right? We didn't ask for interference from his hoity-toityness, the Field Marshal Angie Rommel Fitzwilliam Patrick, or whatever he is. Like, we didn't ask for interference from him, and we certainly didn't ask for interference from a bunch of long-legged surface dwellers. Okay? We just want to be left alone.
We should have told them they were dead.
In the meantime, Angie and Idun.
I'm gonna take the cart up.
As you do that, once again, Doofa steps closer with a raised pick and says, "I wouldn't do that if I was you."
Well, that's the only way I can get up either. I can send
Yeah,
it back
Kane.
down, or I can stay with you until you're ready to come up.
You came down by the rope, you can go back up by the rope.
That's at least 60 feet. I'll sit right here on this rock and watch you. But I won't talk to you.
Horrifying threat.
We're going to come back to this totally failed investigation in a minute. Okay, so Idun and Angi, what are the two of you? The two of you are headed to King Mar's cellars.
Yep.
Right. We're looking for Little B.
You do, in fact, find Little B sampling, he would say, inspecting a recent delivery of salted pork and meat pies from Dale. Ooh, Angie! It's so good to see ya. How's it going there, Angie? And Idun, you're looking more beautiful than ever.
The pleasure is all yours, Little B. Now, I have some questions for you. If you could possibly put down the edibles.
Oh, it's okay. I can talk and work at the same time. It's very important to make sure that the food that goes to King Mar's table is presentable and sufficient.
Well, if you keep at it like you are, it's not going to be sufficient.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But spoilage is a real danger. You understand how it is. Now,
You would
may I
mind.
be of service?
You know the Deep Delvers?
The Deep Delvers. You mean just like dwarves in general?
No, the specific group of
It's not the
dwarves.
Hobbit clan. I know some Proudfoots and some Hardbottoms and some. No Deep Delvers though.
All right. Do you know Dees?
Dees. Dees what?
And her friend Dunri, and their friends Nine and Nolly.
Dees,
And
Doonry,
Dofer.
Nine, and all. I mean, it does ring a certain bell. A bunch of
Right.
wee dwarven lads and lasses, I believe.
Right. They apparently rely upon you for intelligence about the lower reaches of the mine.
Rely upon me for intelligence. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. Oh, how do you feel about a bit of pickled herring, Anki?
Right now, I feel like. Is there a barrel handy?
There are lots of barrels. It's a cellar.
All right. Is there an open barrel handy?
Probably.
All right. I'm going to pick him up and shove him headfirst into a barrel.
And now we're waterboarding. I'm just gonna.
I've been wanting to do that for a very long time. Oh, I actually feel a little better now. I pull him out of the barrel.
What was that for?
Oh, I need your.
It's stuck in my eye. It's stuck in my eye. You see, like, his entire pinky finger disappear inside of his eye socket. Oh, it's a gherkin.
I need your attention.
Fine. What's going on, Angie? You seem a little perturbed.
Dwarves are dead, and they're apparently dead because you told them to go somewhere.
Dwarves
They're
are
all-
dead.
Yes.
I mean, do you mean your kin? Because there was that whole.
It
Yeah,
is.
No,
like,
we
okay.
mean some of the young dwarves that you sent down a deep hole looking for treasure.
I didn't send any dwarves.
And you
down
know
any-
what that makes you? That makes you accessory to murder.
Accessory to what? I've never been accessory to anything. And this is very exciting, but also totally wrong. Now, just explain to me what it is you think I've done, and I'll tell you why it's not true.
I'm sure you will. All right. So these delvers which are listed, which you apparently just sort of don't really know very well, but apparently are also
We are passing acquaintances. Yes, all right.
Right. They went down. At least two of them went down below and got mauled by something.
Two of them got
And
mauled.
the rest of the crew says it was on your intelligence. So
You keep saying my
As in your-
intelligence.
you told them where to go.
Wait,
Apparently, they come to you frequently for that sort of information.
all right, it's common knowledge that I do a bit of spelunking from time to time. Right?
Must
I
be
can't
fun
help
with the
it.
one eye.
Hobbits, you'll be glad. I don't think you to know that hobbits are naturally inquisitive and very adventurous people. All of us, the whole nation.
Right, all right. I suppose I have to take your word on that.
So it's true that I've done a bit of nosing about the place, and it is true, I freely admit it, that occasionally some of the younger dwarves have come to me with for advice about said nosing about. And while I certainly don't intend to lead the fine young people of the Fireheart mine astray with my strange Western ways and love of the pipe leaf. It is true that occasionally I have, let's say, performed certain guided tours for, let's say, remuneration of a culinary variety.
Oh, you
And
see,
where do you take these guided tours
Oh,
precisely?
just some of the less well-known highways and byways of the place, so to speak.
And what's worth seeing down there?
Well, actually, not very much, but that doesn't seem to stop some people from paying to go see it anyway. So who am I to argue? It's in the words of the great famous Thorin Oakenshield, whatever the market allows. Famous capitalist was Thorin Oakenshield.
I'd like to roll insight. Snap. I'm gonna spend for that.
Okay. What are you trying to figure out?
I want to know if he's telling the truth about just, oh, I take people down there because they'll pay me and it's worth it to me, or if
He seems to be more or less on the level.
Okay.
Like, it does sound like he does probably provide guided tours for gullible dwarves.
But he doesn't seem like has a ulterior motive for doing it. Like he doesn't seem okay, my thought is he's nervous that we're finding that he doesn't want to tell us he's doing this, but he's not hiding anything other than just the fact that he's doing it, as far as I can tell.
Right. Yeah, I think that would be fair. So you said two of them were horribly mangled.
right?
I guess very exciting. Which two and where exactly? Like precisely where they mangled? I mean, well,
That is need to know information, and currently you don't.
okay,
Right.
that's fair.
And
But
apparently, since you've done all this spelunking, what could have done this to them in your travels and journeys in the lands of the deep?
well, I mean, we found the odd, troll. There was that troll a couple of years ago. You remember that troll?
Do I remember that troll?
Yeah, you remember that troll.
Okay, right. We dealt with him.
And now and then a goblin sneaks in through one of the upper shafts.
And you've
Could have been something like that. I mean, you're the one that normally deals with these things, Angie, so I'd expect you to know the answer to this question.
right, but apparently I don't spend enough time down in the lower parts, where apparently you have gone a delving, as is common among your race.
Right, we're very famous for delving in the deep places of the earth, our hobbits.
I sort of thought that was dwarves, but all right, if you say so.
I'd like to help you out here, believe me, I really, really would. Perhaps I could take you on a sort of guided tour.
Here's the thing. I think Queen Mar would not be happy to know that you have led some young dwarves into places that were dangerous, but I think she would forgive you, and not only forgive you, but consider it a special favor if you would help us with any information that might, help us stop this from happening again, and help us deal with it as we have dealt with things in the past.
If you could be more specific about where it was they were killed, maybe I could help you. If I'd been near there at the time, maybe I saw something. I didn't know I saw something. I truly am trying to help, but you're not being very forthcoming with information. You're just I freely admit I've taken wee lads and lasses on some of these guided tours, and yes, probably you should have had better permission when I did it. But I mean, it's been several weeks since I've done one of those.
All right. I turn to Idun. Or should we let the Poblighter take us on an expedition? Show us the parts we apparently haven't seen yet.
Right?
Well, let's maybe start by telling him where we did find.
Apparently,
I'm going to roll insight again because
Sure.
I want to know if he is curious for just normal curious reasons or curious because he knows something he's not telling us.
my
I mean,
dear friend
he seems like he's trying to help you out here.
Okay.
feels that we should trust you and take you up on your offer to show us, give us the grand tour.
Right. Well, we can do the grand tour. I'm not sure how this is going to help find what happened to your to these dwarves, though.
Well,
but you're the expert.
I thought you said you were the expert.
I bet you're the expert on investigating murder and such.
If we're being perfectly honest, Mr. Little Britius, typically speaking, I just kill things.
Hey, this must be a very frustrating thing for you. Well, typically speaking, I mean, of course, there's not much call for murder among hobbits, being kindly, peaceful, earth-loving people as we are. But I'd say you should just compile a list of likely suspects and get alibis and then see which ones check out.
Right, so where were you a few days, for the last 48 hours?
Where was I for the last 48 hours? Well, we did have the shipment come in. That was yesterday. And since then, I've been quite busy. And before that, come to think of it, I did take a bit of a trip down into the chasm. Seeing as we're all being so honest here. I have a little place down there I like to go to. Honestly, sometimes the racket with all the dwarves and all the pigs and all the hi-ho, it's off to work we go. I mean, every morning. I mean, really. I mean, every morning. And so there's that. Let's see. So I'd have been yesterday. It was the shipment came in. Before that, did a bit of scouting. Before that.
Did anyone go with you when you went to get on your little scouting expedition?
You went on? No, of course not.
Nobody was with you when you were down near chasm either? I
wouldn't take dwarves down. I mean,
what you're saying is that you'll have no alibi for those hours.
Wait a minute. I said compile a list of likely suspects.
Right, and apparently you have a significant secret knowledge of the areas in which our victims were actually found murdered. So you are a likely suspect.
Help me out here, Idun. This is totally unreasonable. Tell him. It's totally unreasonable.
It's only slightly unreasonable, but
I found the Fireheart gem. I gave the Fireheart gem to King Mar. There's no Fireheart mine without little Prettius. Why would I start throttling young dwarf lads and lasses.
All right, calm down, calm down. I don't
Do you think I can
actually.
physically throttle a dwarf even if I wanted to? My hands wouldn't fit around your giant, clunky necks.
All right, calm down. I'm sorry. I admit it was out of hand. We want you to help us, and so we're gonna try to avoid intentionally offending you. But yes, if you could help us, show us the deep delvings. We're also kind of worried that our other friends might, well, the surviving deep delvers might do something foolish. So
The surviving.
have-
Oh! Somebody should go find them right away, and let them know that their friends have died, and that if they don't want to die, that they need to stay put. I assume we've already done that, though, being very sensible, experienced people.
Right. Yes.
Oh, good. Well, that's a relief then.
well,
So,
we told them most of it, but we were afraid of starting a ruckus. So they don't
Starting a
actually know their
ruckus?
friends are dead. So yeah.
I
So they might be doing something stupid right now.
Oh, this is terrible. Why are you here talking to me?
We have other people dealing with other problems.
Right. Okay. I'd be more than happy to take you down and if you're good at climbing, that is, and show you what I found. But I'm not sure that I can. I'm not sure that I can help without knowing where they were when they were
We'll tell
killed.
you when we get there. We'll tell you.
Wait. So am I taking you somewhere, or you're taking me somewhere?
Let's start by you taking us somewhere. And
Right.
if it happens to be, they happen to cross over, then that might be very helpful.
All right. Well, all right.
Angie, I think we should tell him. We maybe have already gotten in trouble by telling not people not enough, so we should tell him.
What would you like to see? I could show you. I could show you my spot. I've got a bit of food laid by there. Truth be told,
I'm sure you do.
truth be told, some of the dwarves who run the kitchen here, they don't quite understand the needs of the hobbit stomach. See. So I've been supplementing my diet, but I mean nothing that would be noticed.
Angie, can we tell him where we found them? I don't.
All right. Apparently, we found them in. What's it called?
It's where
So
his
you-
ghost tours are.
So you just
know?
mentioned that particular
Right.
wing of the mine. Why didn't you say so to begin with? See, now I can help you with your investigation because I happened to be over there not 2 days ago.
Right. Doing what?
I was running errands for King Mar. You're free to ask her.
Secret errands for Queen Ma.
No, not terribly secret. It's just delivering some orders to the foreman of the mine there. You probably ask him
Such
too.
as?
I don't read the orders. I was just running an errand. Well, I feel bad about sometimes how much I eat. So I try to pull my weight, which is not very considerable.
Despite all the eating.
Despite all the eating, we've got very good metabolisms in the Shire. Anyway, but I was over there not 2 days ago and was just getting toward the end of the last shift before the evening, and I saw someone coming out of the mine shaft.
Someone.
Aye. He's one of your men, Angie.
Right. Could you be more specific?
Well, I hate any names, you know, but uh, Alpha, I think is his name. The lazy one.
Oh, my nephew.
No, not Alfred, Alpha. But you all have names that sound the same. I mean, it's got to be really confusing after a while. No, Alpha.
Trust me.
He I saw him coming up, looking very pale, out of the mine shaft the other evening. I didn't say anything to him because I had my own errands to run, and I don't like, well, I don't like meddling. But he did seem very pale to me, almost as though he'd seen a ghost.
Mm. All right. Well, I guess we need to go talk to him.
Hey, and you know that Alpha is he's a particularly surly guard who was recently assigned the job of like periodic patrols of the lower diggings, mainly because he kept pissing people off on the upper levels. Hey,
Okay.
so he might be able to tell you something valuable. So when do you want the tour? We can go now, of course. I've got to finish inspecting the shipment, but that shouldn't take me more than another 2 or 3 hours. So we could go after that, if you prefer.
Well, we do need to catch up with our friends too.
Right. Just don't leave town.
Where might I go?
I don't know. Apparently, it's your secret hidey hole in the bottom of the mine.
Hey, it's not so much a hidey hole. It's just more like it's a breakfast nook, is what it is.
Right. For that 5th breakfast.
We only have 2 breakfasts, and then we have 11sies.
Right. As I said, also gherkin behind your ear.
Do you want a pie before you leave? Or perhaps just like a half pint of ale to tide you over?
No.
No?
What kind of pie?
Oh, the best kind. It's a melted oysters, and we're in the mountains. So that makes perfect sense.
Mm,
No?
maybe not.
More for me then. All right, so the 2 of you are off to speak to Alpha,
Yes.
and the rest of you need to figure out what to do with half of. So the party's split in 3 groups at this point. There are 2 of you
Yeah.
down a hole, there are 2 of you at the top of a hole, and there are 2 of you going to talk to an a-hole. So we're going to stop right there for tonight because it's 11 o'clock. Guys, thank you so much for this this wonderful investigation, which did not at all go the way that I was expecting it to.
Do we ever?
No, you do not.
I don't think it went the way any of us expected.
I'm not really sure what we're going to do down in this hole.
They
Since
still
we
don't
don't-
know you're there.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, there's no point in me being there because once we leave, they're going to start talking Dwarvish again, and we can't understand what they say.
Well, if they're chasing
I mean,
me up
Onar
the
could,
road,
but he's just being quiet and useless.
No, I
Yeah,
got my
he's-
mic to work, guys. It took me all night.
Hey, just in time for the session to end. Nicely done, Arthur.
hey,
Nicely done.
if I can get them away from the map, maybe Sancho could sneak over and get a good look at it.
Yeah, I could swipe the map, but they're all sitting
Yeah,
around
swipe
it.
the map.
And then,
No, they're
and
walking over
Onar's
to
not
the
at
thing
the
to
bottom
threaten
with
me.
us. Onar's at the top, so he can't hear.
That's correct.
So the wrong person, like the wrong people went down.
All right.
I feel like
Guys.
this is more like a Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, it has
This is
taken
a
that
Terry Pratchett
dimension.
novel.
Right, except I'm very much not Vimes over here. I'm like,
I have to say, I really love Nolly and Nain. They're like 2 of my favorite new characters.
These
Alright.
overage, underage teenagers
Yep.
that are definitely adults.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, thank you to everyone. And I'll get the recording posted soon so that Jeremy can watch it. Not that it would help him in any way.
He
All right, y'all
can
have a
squirm.
good
He
night.
can squirm.
All right.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Take care, y'all.
Good night.